The ongoing pandemic has affected us all and took many vital parties and events away from us. In fact, we've seen huge stars and celebrities practice isolation. Basically, everyone's been at home watching TV all day. But we can't say that for everyone, since some stars have ignored these SOPs and continue to party. One of the stars who blatantly ignored these restrictions to have a few moments of fun was the Sway Boys, including the major heartthrob Bryce Hall. Actually, Bryce threw a multitude of parties up until the Los Angeles mayor had to cut off his celebrity to get him to stop pulling a Gatsby. What really happened was, on August 14th, there was a huge gathering at the Sway House to celebrate Bryce's birthday. As soon as the videos of over 100 attendees getting cozy and personal with each other hit the internet, it was chaos. They broke every written and unwritten rule for what not to do during a lockdown. Millions of fans watched in shock as clips of hundreds of guests without masks danced away too close to each other until the police had to arrive and shut down the party. Most of these videos were actually posted by Deaf Noodles. They gathered dozens of footage of guests inside and outside the tightly packed house. That's not all. Deaf Noodles also told Insider that it was at least the third party the Sway House had hosted in the past 4 days. Come on, boys, you can do better than that. The more they party, the more time everyone else will have to spend at home zooming our lives away. He finally made comments about his birthday bash in an interview with Entertainment Tonight back in June. He said that he would have to relocate after their fans discovered the Bel Air mansion they lived in and showed up to take photos with them, all while being uninvited. Bryce was even seen engaging with strippers, so it's safe that we're sure he wasn't following the 6 feet distancing. With such a reputation, you can definitely expect him to attend or throw a Halloween bash. That's when the LA mayor tweeted this: "Today, I authorized the city to disconnect utility service at a house in the Hollywood Hills to stop the large parties held there in flagrant violation of our public health orders." This became an issue as Hall's private property was shared with fellow TikTokers Noah Beck and Blake Gray, and their electricity was shut off. What's more hilarious is that they were completely unfazed. On Instagram Live, they flaunted their pitch black house and the fact that they only had cold water available. It's been long enough now, so let's hope that their water and electricity is back on. The officials in Los Angeles County reminded the residents that the country is setting an order that prohibits large gatherings, especially parties, to stop the deadly coronavirus spread. You can't really expect him or stars like him to stay at home during Halloween, one of the most major holidays among teens and youngsters. The famous bunch of TikTok attended a party in West Hollywood in the Saddle Ranch. We saw the TikTokers dressed in killer outfits during Halloween. They also mingled in some killer activities such as kissing. We're looking at you, Bryce and Addison. They even made several TikToks together because that's literally what TikTokers do. Obviously, many fans were caught up in the Bradison drama, so they might have ignored how they were violating the SOPs, but one celebrity completely condemned their actions: Ariana Grande. In an interview about her new song, Positions with Zach Sang on The Zach Sang Show, she talked about how much she missed doing the traditional things she did on Halloween, such as going to the Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios, where she couldn't go since it was closed. Ari explained while reminiscing how she would walk through the mazes, and the actors would say, "Ariana, how are you?" And she would reply with, "What up, ghoul number 6? How's it going?" That being said, Ari understood that the situation wasn't right to go out and party. Not only did she express how annoyed she was with the anti-quarantine behaviors, but posting it on social media also irked her. The pop star seemed very upset that she couldn't go, and decided to pick on the ones who did. We understand that she's right and did the adult thing, but did she really need to make such comments? The juicy part came when she made a very clear comment about our beloved TikTok stars. She asked, "Couldn't we have just stayed at home for a few more weeks like all the other countries that were fine and are better than we are? Did we all really need to go to the fucking Saddle Ranch that badly, and we couldn't have waited for the deathly pandemic to pass?" She questioned again, without naming any names. We all really needed to put on our cowgirl boots and ride a mechanical bull that bad? We all needed that Instagram post that badly? It seemed obvious enough that this was directed to the online stars that partied all night in the Saddle Ranch in LA. And if you didn't know, LA has continually been a hotspot for the virus to breed and spread around. There have been a total of 17,964 deaths as of November 7th. If you thought she wouldn't get a reply, then you'd be wrong. However, they didn't seem to answer back the way you thought. This wasn't some Twitter beef, so it didn't go off the rails. Speaking to Pap Galore, Dixie D'Amelio, Addison and Bryce all stated their opinions on Ariana's remark. Interestingly enough, they all agreed with her. Dixie said that she wasn't sure what to say, and who would when such a huge celebrity calls you out on your not-so-great actions. Other than that, she also said that Ariana was right and that she's a queen. When she was asked if she would want to collaborate with the pop superstar, she replied, "I'd love to, but would Ariana want to?" Likewise, Addison, who has amassed a following of 67.7 million followers on TikTok, said that the criticism she received was fair and that she's been avoiding parties a lot. That doesn't seem to be true considering she was seen locking lips with Bryce, that too in a public place. Hello? What happened to the 6 feet distance? She also said that she's been preparing for her upcoming film, which is a remake of the 90s iconic movie She's All That. Despite the proof that we have of Bryce being a hardcore fun addict, he said that he wasn't going to parties or even throwing anymore. Now he's more of a workout kind of guy and he doesn't go to parties. We detect a lie. Bryce said that on November 5th on the Hollywood Raw podcast, she's not wrong, but like unnecessary. Yeah, it's unnecessary to call out a specific group, especially when there are other people doing it. He commented on why she could shame TikTokers publicly by saying because she knew that TikTokers have like a high audience. She knew a lot of people would agree because there's a lot of people that hate TikTokers especially. That's not all. He also said, I mean, it was obviously like a marketing move and good for her, but like, she's not wrong. Bryce obviously acknowledges that he couldn't have said anything in defense against Ariana Grande's claims, as she was right ultimately. He explained, "What's a TikToker going to say? Fuck you, Ariana? I'm not going to say that. Everyone is like, you're right." We've given you the background on the notorious partygoer Bryce Hall, so it's easy to assume that he was the one most offended since his partying habits didn't go away as the cases spiked. He said it's a marketing move, but maybe she was just talking about what sort of activities we should be condemning right now. If the stars are aware that partying is wrong in a global health crisis, why do they continue to do so? Isn't this the question we're all asking? They probably didn't expect to be called out by such a huge star while enjoying their night at the Saddle Ranch. Obviously, there were other people at the party, but there were many other parties going on. It's possible Ariana didn't mean to pinpoint them out, but hey, the shoe definitely seemed to fit. We're not sure what to think of these remarks either, but let's hope these influencers with a huge following of teens will reconsider going out during a pandemic. It's not for themselves, but for the sake of the followers who watch them every day. These influencers from the TikTok and YouTuber communities partying in LA have caused the COVID-19 cases to spike. Despite these continued public outrages and apologies from many famous parties, internet-famous teens and young adults refuse to sit at home. It seems like their parents need to teach them a lesson or two about following rules.